A very good afternoon to you all. Thank you for joining us for the UBC Lunchtime News, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We are delighted that you are watching, and before you know, let's start with the first story. Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is expected to close the training of over 250 local leaders from Karamoja sub-region. While addressing the trainees, the Prime Minister Robinah Nabbanja noted that government has started the process of empowering local leaders in Karamoja to be role models in the communities that they lead. More details in this report.
Prime Minister Robinah Nabbanja has noted that among the 10-point programs of NRM government, one of them was to develop Karamoja. She was addressing over 250 local leaders from Karamoja region at Oliver Reginald Tambo School of Leadership and Pan-African Center of Excellence, Kaweweta, in Nakaseke district.
Dam and valley dams were constructed during that period. Do you remember? Yes. We have now agreed that those dams that need desilting should be desilted using the budget of Karamoja Ministry.
Prime Minister Nabbanja said leaders need to be change agents if they are to help their communities for socio-economic transformation.
We are going to make you model leaders.
Premier Nabbanja said President Yoweri Museveni prioritizes the well-being of the people of Karamoja. For a reason, he established an affirmative ministry under the office of the Prime Minister to address specific challenges affecting Karamoja.
When he created this ministry, he gave you his wife. He gave you his wife to be the minister for Karamoja. Do you remember? Yes.
The UPDF Chief Political Commissar Major General Henry Masiko says the training is meant to orient the leaders to the development agenda of the country.
This revolutionary system that made a bold step to redefine and diagnose properly the problem and issues of Karamoja.
Felix Mark Lochale, the LC5 chairperson, Karinga, says they are now prepared and energized to develop Karamoja.
Now, agents of change, as you say, as we get back to the Karamoja region, we shall turn around the story to change the Karamoja sub-region positively.
The 3 weeks training emphasized leadership skills, appreciating government programs, and benchmarking on what other leaders in Nakaseke are doing in the transformation agenda.
We encourage our people, the farmers, to look at other enterprises apart from cattle keeping.
Furthermore, 2 suspected ADF rebels are reported to have set ablaze a truck registration number UBN 624N, killing 2 people on spot and 1 sustained injuries and 2 survived. The burnt truck was ferrying onions to Mpondwe market situated at the Uganda-DRC border of Mpondwe Kasindi. Haruna Mutesasera with a report.
Suspected ADF rebels have burnt to ashes a truck from Kisoro district heading to Mpondwe Lubiriha market in Kasese district, carrying onions. Out of the 5 people on board, 2 were killed. 1 sustained severe injuries and the other 2 survived narrowly. The incident took place last night around 1 a.m. at Kathulovu village along Kasese Mpondwe highway, barely a kilometer away from Rusese military barracks.
This happened at Katozo Junction along Bwera Kinyamaseke Kasese Road in Kasese district, and the trailer had only 4 occupants, where one male was shot dead, another male was seriously injured and has been rushed to Bwera Hospital. 1 female survived without any injury, and 1 man is yet to be seen.
Reports indicate that the suspected rebels first tried to attack the local people in the area before they turned their attention to the truck, which was heading to the border market of Mpondwe Lubiriha.
Our squads of UPDF 5 Battalion are tracking down the attackers. When there are more details available, we shall inform the country.
Unclassified information indicates that the suspected ADF rebels are part of the batch of the ADF rebels that made attempts to cross to Uganda last Friday as the UPDF forces intensified the pursuit of the ADF rebels in Virunga National Park, where they have been hiding and planning to make attacks on the local population.
We believe these elements who came here last night are part of the group that attacked here last Friday. Today is Friday again, about a week ago. 5 of those elements disappeared through our national park, and we believe they have been hiding there. These are probably the core of the group that came here last night.
Residents and local leaders have appealed to government and the UPDF leadership to multiply deployment of troops along porous border crossing areas.
The community should remain vigilant as they have been, and we are in charge. We are remaining, in fact we are following them up.
Furthermore, at least 2,881 candidates are set to sit for the 2023 Uganda Certificate of Examinations at 29 points across Busia district. The national examinations began on Friday with briefing across the country.
A Uganda National Examination Board official in Busia district has cautioned school administrators and students against acts of malpractice. Uganda Certificate of Education exams that kick-started Friday this week with a briefing across the country. The district examination supervisor Alor Tapa says they are prepared to deliver the examinations material to the respective centers in time.
9 exactly in the morning and then at 2 in the afternoon. So we expect them to move to the sitting center as early as possible. Since weather is not very good, they make sure that they come very early, so that we don't actually have students who are going to miss that. Because any candidate will come 15 minutes after they start the exam. That one is always denied.
He appealed to parents to prepare their children by providing them with the required scholastic materials.
To give the candidate all what is required, not to give them any other thing to clear the delays them. They are also supposed to visit their children before they start this exam, build confidence in them, to encourage them as they go to sit.
Some of the schools contacted us at their level of preparedness were seemingly ready to write their NEB tests.
With the national exams, we are very much ready. This year I've registered 40 students, and they are all prepared for national exams because we have a laboratory that is ready, well equipped with all the apparatus and all the reagents that are going to help us in the practicals. Besides that, we have done enough coverage for the learners, and on top of that, the teachers have done their best alongside myself, prepared for the national exams.
The Orthopedic Society of Uganda is calling upon the government and Ministry of Health to open up employment for orthopedic surgeons at regional and district hospitals and ensure that the positions are filled. The orthopedic says that the environment that they work in is full of constraints and urged the government to look into their issues like training, avail implants at subsidized rates, among others.
Infest at the orthopedic department at Mulago National Referral Hospital is trauma followed by other infections. It is against this backdrop that the Orthopedic Society of Uganda is calling for more employment of orthopedic specialists in the hospital since health facilities lack them.
We would need that even those who have qualified need to be absorbed. You'll be surprised that we've got several orthopedic surgeons running around the private hospitals to make ends meet, and yet you have got regional referral hospitals, you've got district hospitals that have got an immense burden of disease, but the job is not available for them to go and set up there and help that needy community. So that is also something that we'd like you to
The experts say that in their department, they do most of a range of procedures with minimal referrals abroad and all attributed to specialized services they offer. Orthopedics say that the environment they work in is full of constraints and urge the government to look into their issues like training, availing implants at subsidized rate, among others.
The equipment we use for orthopedic surgery is very pricey. The equipment we used to do joint replacements, we used to do spine surgeries, to do trauma is very pricey. The implants that we use cost a bit of money, and unfortunately, if you're looking at the patient side, these equipment, most of it is not readily available at the hospitals, and patients have then got to buy it out of pocket if they are not on insurance. They buy it out of pocket. For somebody who is paying out of pocket, this can cause some delays. So imagine somebody has had a fracture and needs about a week to mobilize money to buy an implant. That is time lost, during which time other complications can happen.
The experts note that the main challenge at their department, patients report late for treatment, making it hard for full recovery. It should be noted that only 73 orthopedics are in the country, and out of which 22 are at Mulago National Referral Hospital and the rest distributed to other hospitals.
Less than 20 of those actually have orthopedic surgeons practicing in their hospitals. So, for example, Kabadi, like you mentioned, has one surgeon. Masaka, one surgeon. Barara has one surgeon. Jinja also has one surgeon. Lira Regional Referral also has one surgeon. And the district hospitals do not have any. And yet we know that these are the ones that are going to see most of the patients that get trauma primarily before they are sent to the regional referrals or eventually to Mulago.
To be frank, the bodabodas are the biggest contributors to this trauma that we have. So we have a lot of trauma. Trauma takes about 80% of the work in orthopedics department currently. And then we have a lot of degenerative condition, that is wear and tear, mainly involving the spine conditions and the joints. The joints, where we have to give artificial joints, do repairs of ligaments and spine surgeries.
In the concluded surgical week held at Mulago National Referral Hospital, over 1,200 outpatients were catered for and 126 major orthopedic surgeries were conducted. Zahra Abigaba, UBC News.
Now, in response to the amplified food and nutrition crisis triggered by the recent compounding effects of COVID-19 and climate change, the African Union, in partnership with the Inter-African Bureau for Animal Resources and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, has unveiled a groundbreaking initiative known as the Resilient African Feed and Fodder Systems Project in Uganda. The project's inauguration took place in Kampala, where the luminaries and experts gathered to talk about challenges faced by livestock farmers and the fodder industry.
African livestock farmers have been grappling with the effects of worst drought in decades as pasture and water become scarce amidst a rise in pests and diseases. According to a 2022 report by the Food and Agriculture Organization, over 8.9 million livestock in the Greater Horn of Africa died. This translated to the loss of 120 million liters of milk, leaving 1.6 million children under the age of 5 across the region without a daily glass of milk. Against this backdrop, a workshop held in Nairobi in August of this year, experts from the African Union drafted key documents for the Resilient African Feed and Fodder Assessment Project, cutting across 6 African countries, which include Cameroon, Kenya, Nigeria, Somalia, Uganda, and Zimbabwe. According to Dennis Mulongo Maholo, the acting assistant commissioner at the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries, said that the project is aimed at addressing critical challenges impacting African feed and fodder systems triggered by COVID-19 and climate change shocks.
By this project, we expect and we aspire to eliminate the seasonal shortages that we have been experiencing as a country, which have led to most of the farmers, especially the poultry farmers, to collapse out of business, and the dairy farmers have not been able to meet the targets which they have always been wanting.
A significant contributor to livestock mortality and diminished production in many regions is the scarcity of adequate animal feed and inadequate feeding practices by farmers.
The project is going to help us update our statistics on animal feeds. The project is going to help us also identify critical points within the value chain where we have to put action, and also it is going to help us update the existing laws and policies.
Dr. Sarah Osia, the RAFU's project officer, observed that the project is designed to mobilize efforts that will bring the desired effect of addressing short-term shortages and design proactive measures to tackle the challenges in the feed and fodder sector.
We look forward to working together to bring greater visibility to the importance of the development of the feed and fodder sector, and to strengthen it as critical to enhancing livestock production and achieving food and nutrition security and sustainability and resilience of the livestock sector.
At the project launch, attendees from feed and fodder sector shared their thoughts and impressions.
So there are some small implements or investments that could be made that would benefit the whole industry, not just grain producers, farmers, everyone who uses grain as a major input.
Honorable Helen Adoa, the Minister of State for Fisheries, speaking on behalf of the guest of honor, the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, praised the project launch and affirmed the government's dedication to collaborating with African Union experts to enhance the country's feed and fodder sector.
Our government is committed to tackling these challenges and has laid some strategies. Government of Uganda has laid some strategies. One of them is strengthening quality assurance, control measures to ensure that the animal feed and the fodder through regular testing and certification.
According to a 2022 report by the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, approximately 78% of the Ugandan households engaged in agriculture raise livestock for their livelihood and income. The report further suggests that livestock and fisheries contribute to 4% of the Ugandan national domestic product. Nahoko Rashid Matselele, UBC TV.
Thank you, Rashid. Now, the judiciary, in partnership with the International Rescue Committee, has launched a refugee resource book on refugee rights and policies that will serve as a reference point for actors in the justice sector. A Supreme Court judge, Justice Christopher Madrama, says the handbook is a landmark in the enhancement of administration of justice to the refugees in Uganda. The event was held at Mestil Hotel in Kampala.
Justice Madrama acknowledges the challenges encountered by refugees and asylum seekers while navigating Uganda's foreign and complex legal system. He asserts that this refugee handbook will improve justice dispensation to refugees in Uganda.
Now, there are many objectives of this handbook, and one of them is to fill in the gap which has been identified, where, one, there is a lack of knowledge about the legal framework of laws affecting refugees. So many practitioners, policemen, judges do not really know what laws govern certain aspects of refugee lives. So the idea of this book is to raise awareness and to give a reference of the various stakeholders who are involved in refugee work, who can support them, to give their contacts and to set out the kind of rights that they have and the laws which are affecting them.
Uganda being a host to more than 1.5 million refugees, this handbook is a novel achievement that highlights key laws and policies related to refugees and asylum seekers. This seeks to ease the work and processes in the justice sector, ultimately accelerating refugees' access to justice.
Now, at the core of most of the disputes involving refugees is that they are not treated most of the time in our court system as ordinary citizens, although the Constitution commands us to accord similar treatment with every person in our courts.
This unparalleled handbook serves as a resource document that will bridge an information and service gap while rendering justice to refugees in the courts of law.
Courts must also be alive to the fact that most of these refugees don't speak the local languages. So what is the obligation on a judicial officer, for example? You have to ensure that the refugees understands what you are telling him or her in the language that she understands.
As a refugee, I've had a lot of difficult times in finding out what I can, what I cannot do, and how to access services. For example, I was first an asylum seeker. When I was an asylum seeker, I couldn't get a bank account, I couldn't get a SIM card, so that was a major problem that I was facing.
This refugee resource book intends to streamline services delivery to refugees in Uganda while in host communities and addresses their unique justice needs. Crispus Arinitwe, Jime Akanshemeza, UBC News.
Let's now take a short commercial break and be back with more news. Please do not move a muscle.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge.
Wano nno tuli Bukoto era lero wetugenda okugaba pichipichi yaffe eri omwanguzi waffe wano wetuzze.
I'm so excited and I'm sure even all the people, all the staff at Kwaliwath are all excited. We thank you very, very much.
Myaka 25 nga MTN ewereza naye nga buli week tugaba pichipichi 5.
Very, very excited. I'm excited about MTN giving back to its customers. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much, MTN.
The fact that we have won really shows that people like Momo. Their services are really nice. MTN, your services are okay. The network is good. We are satisfied.
Chikola sense ne? Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Tubaniriza mu Jinja Central Market trade wano okubanga twedusa abantu okuwaayo kumbaga ya mwenemu nga bakozesa Momope. Kati je mu Jinja Central Market sobola okubanga tuwayana abatyambye Momope neri kwogeza abantu obwama.
Tamu ndalo. Otemu mukaga. Otemu itanga. Otemu sita. Onige isatu. Onige ash. Onige yes. Ayi nga tuwayo tikashi nga tuwayo nga tubita ku Momope enkola ya MTN miga 70
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
The Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, in partnership with Huawei, has organized the second annual National ICT Job Fair 2023, which will take place at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds on the 17th and 18th of October 2023. The main objective is to address the unemployment gap among the youth in Uganda by providing a platform for them to interact with multiple employers, access job opportunities, internships, apprenticeships, and training programs in the ICT sector. The chief guest will be His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. All members of the public are invited.
So, you are ready to invest in Airtel's initial public offering? Good choice. I'm going to show you how to do it straight from your phone. First, you're going to want to make sure you have a Securities Central Depository, SCD, account. Dial star 185 star 85 hash from your Airtel number. Choose Airtel IPO purchase from the available options. Enter your valid national identification number when prompted. Before you purchase, there are a few things you need to know. The minimum purchase is 2,500 shares. The share price is 100 Uganda shillings. Select the number of shares you wish to purchase. Choose your relevant broker for the purchase. Enter your Airtel Money PIN to confirm the transaction. Congratulations! You receive a confirmation message of your successful purchase.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC Lunchtime News, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We now delve into more news this afternoon. Now, the president of the Uganda Christian Schools, Charles Sazia, has reassured senior 4 and 6 students of Chitebi Senior Secondary School that it is possible to make it in the UNEB exams with a belief that God is the source of wisdom. This was during his address to candidate classes during their dedication service held at the school.
Senior 4 and Senior 6 students of Chitebi Senior Secondary School have been dedicated to God in preparation for their UNEB examinations that began today with a briefing. The president of Uganda Christian Schools, Charles Sazi, spoke to the Senior 4 and Senior 6 students of Chitebi Senior Secondary School, reassuring them that it's possible to make it in UNEB examinations with a belief that God is a source of wisdom.
Republic of Uganda and the Ministry of Education has to make a drastic plan for our students or our graduates who come out of the university. You know, they study different subjects, but the government does not prepare them for the job market.
With their final exams on the horizon, Sheiwa Lugembe Sulaiman encouraged the students to trust in God. He reminded them that cheating or seeking alternative means to pass examinations are not the path to success.
Have respect for humanity. Everybody matters. Try to see that you treat each and everybody the way you would want to be treated.
Reverend Julius Matov of St. Peter's Church of Uganda in Entebbe spoke about the significance of dedicating students to the hands of God.
This is a journey. Believe me or not, this is a what? This is a journey. And the journey has been so long.
The headmaster of the school, Muhammad Kamulege, implored the students to become ambassadors of knowledge and appreciate the hard work of their teachers.
Because of those who are not here and we are found in wrong vices, we shall be compelled to have that one. And that one may definitely damage the image and the name wherever you are. Let's try as much as possible. Be very careful. Let's try as much as possible to show a very good example, because below you there are thousands and thousands of children who are looking up to you.
The Vicar of St. Paul Cathedral Namirembe, Reverend Abraham Moyinda, shared a final blessing for the students of Senior 4 at Nadia Estes Boyogere.
Entrust our children in the hands of the Lord, because we believe that without Him, nothing we can do. But when we entrust everything that we have into His hands, we can succeed.
The school's head teacher, Robin Ansanji, had faith in her students. She wished them the best, convinced that they were well prepared to pass with flying colors.
Sometimes it's all of them in boarding school, being able to utilize all the time, whether weekend or public holiday, anytime we've been able to play our hands on.
Roselle Senior Secondary School continued its preparations for Senior 4 examinations, with Reverend Brenna Nabitas Chiaga, the chaplain of the school, assuring students that they had been prepared both academically and spiritually.
That's extra homework and all those things, checking out numbers all the time, and most precious of all, we have been praying.
Senyimba Peter, the headmaster of the school, stressed the importance of continuous revision. He reminded the students that while they had been dedicated to God's care, the onus was on them to use the knowledge bestowed upon them for a brighter future.
In a very tricky period when you need a lot of guidance. There are so many people out there who are going to tell you all sorts of misleading things. But for us, we have the Kasasa here.
And that brings us to the end of our lunchtime news. Thank you for being a lovely audience. Do join us later on for more news in our subsequent bulletins. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold. See you later.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello, Mom. How did you sleep? How is Salongo? Oh, Mommy, how is Grandma? And Simba, the dog, yeah, the funny one.
Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel Bona voice bundles. Dial *100*1#. Select Call Bona to choose bundles from as low as 1,000 shillings from daily, weekly, monthly, or bundles that don't expire. Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel. A reason to imagine.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Oga, you need to make am the peace and unity, because love is the only way to go now. Bros, now don't be like this, so hey.